Hi everyone, welcome back to the Airing Austin YouTube channel. My name is Austin, and today we're going to be talking about House of the Dragon Season 1, Episode 8. Yeah, we're in Episode 8, so only 2 more episodes left, and I'm so not ready for the show to end. I am really digging it. I've come to terms with a few things about the show overall, but we will be getting into that later. So I have to give credit where credit is due and say that this show is just really amazing at the whole show don't tell aspect of filmmaking. The whole scene with Daemon climbing down to the dragon's eggs and collecting these dragons from like these sack looking things. I just thought that was so cool to watch. I always saw the eggs in Game of Thrones. How does a dragon give birth to that? And so I don't know, it kind of answered the question for me. It's kind of like, oh, how did Han Solo get his name? And you know, they gave a horrible answer to that. Like, this kind of like rides that line really well, where it's like, we didn't need to know this information, but it was such like an interesting, unique way to kind of kick off the episode. Corlys, he is not present in this episode again, which really sucks. And forgive me if I'm mistaken, but Corlys, he's been gone from his family for a few years, and he lost a battle or something, and he might be like mortally wounded and nobody knows where he's at. And that's why his brother is kind of pining after his seat of the Driftwood throne. And then people are in talks about Rhaenyra's sons being possibly the ones to actually do that and take over that. I actually don't remember Corlys' brother's name. I know he's a Valyrian and that he really wants the Driftwood throne, and it doesn't really matter. He doesn't really survive the episode. Daemon comes in and takes him out after calling Rhaenyra's children Jon Snow. But not only that, he also said that Rhaenyra was a bad no-no word. And yeah, no, Daemon was not having that and just cut his head off. And it's like, okay, Daemon, I still don't understand what you're doing. You're kind of like crazy, but like in a way that is really cool and I can respect. He's a very active character, and that's not really rare in Game of Thrones, but he makes it more so his own thing. Matt Smith, whatever he's doing it really well. One thing that really surprised me was the power dynamic between Rhaenyra and Daemon. Every time I saw them in a room together, I felt bad for anyone who was also in the same room as them. It's kind of like whenever you're a kid and you're playing soccer for fun on a soccer team, and then you play against that other soccer team that takes this very seriously, and they're gonna be like pro athletes later down the line. You don't want to be in the same field as that team. You're just here to have fun. One character that I just feel astonishingly bad about is Viserys. I've been saying like almost every other week, like I'm shocked that he's still in this show. How is this guy alive? Just seeing the way he is. He was literally a skeleton, which I mean, it's October, Halloween season, so I mean, he dressed for the part very well. I think that this is his last episode because right before the credits roll, you just hear like, I believe that was his final breath that you hear. But seeing all of these characters mourn for Viserys and his state, it really struck a chord with me. I had a step uncle at the time who went through a very similar situation, and it was really scary to go through, to say the least, to see someone who's so normal and so present in your life a few months later and they're just a completely different person, and you know that not everything is right. And seeing House of the Dragon capture that feeling and present it on film on this TV show, I think that they did a really great job with that. Viserys' character arc, it was good. It's gonna be a whole different show without him. It's kind of scary thinking about like what the future is without this character. And I actually haven't felt that way about a TV show since probably the death of Ned Stark back in Game of Thrones. I really enjoyed this episode. I think that I still liked episode 6 a little bit more. Just the filmmaking meshed together like really well in episode 6. Episode 6 is, everything was just so good about episode 6, but I actually do think that this episode came really close to it. I think it actually surpassed episode 6 in a few aspects, such as like the emotional value. I said last week that I had no sympathy for Aemond, but I mean, like, after the glow up and then seeing him beat Sir Criston Cole in a sparring match, yeah, it's Aemond, right? Aemond, yeah, he's kind of growing on me. So actually this whole episode was more so of a build up to the scene where they're deciding on who is going to be the successor to the Driftwood throne, because, you know, Corlys is still kind of missing in action. And so then Corlys' brother is like, yeah, no, guys, I kind of want the Driftwood throne. It kind of belongs to me. I'm the only true blood Valyrian here. And everyone's like, whoa, Rhaenyra's kids. And he's like, those aren't Valyrians. Even King Viserys, he's like wise enough to come out and say, okay, nope, give me your tongue. Bring it here right now. When King Viserys like walked through back to the Iron Throne, he's like, I'm here, I will attend. Meanwhile, the guard's trying to help him, you know, and he's like, no, I don't need your help. And then Daemon comes in, he's like, brother, let us help you. That was such a sweet moment for me. I loved that brotherly bond. I wish we had more of that. I wish that they made House of the Dragon a lot longer than it was. The pacing is off to me, and I don't know if that's because I'm putting it up to the standards of Game of Thrones, or if it's just, I don't know, too fast for me. I think that since, you know, they are getting a season 2, that they could have done a lot more planning ahead of time, and the pace could have been a little bit, just a tad bit slower. Let these character moments breathe a little bit better, and that way, like, those moments where, you know, Daemon actually helps out Viserys, like, it's an even stronger, like, feeling. Like, I want to be like, yes, when that happens. I don't want to be like, yeah, because there really is enough time for these characters to be well written and fleshed out even more. And so this all actually accumulates into probably one of my favorite scenes in the episode, where the Targaryen family is just having a nice little dinner together. I really enjoyed seeing Alicent Hightower and Rhaenyra Targaryen toast to each other. And I mean, like, as much as I wanted to believe that it was real, for a moment, I kind of did think it was real, and it was really sweet to see that friendship kind of rekindle, getting back to the roots of things and deeply caring about each other once more, laying out in the garden, talking about eating cake and going on adventures. I want to see more of that between the two. And then by the end, Alicent talks to Viserys and kind of gets a little confused, and it's like, okay, well, now I got to go back against Rhaenyra. And it's like, no, you guys were so close. But back to the dinner scene. Did anyone else think that Rhaenyra's kids were going to die there? Aemond was like, he's like, you're so handsome, you're so wise, and what was that last word again? Strong. And it's like, oh. Even Alicent's like, so Rhaenyra's like, hey, I'm going to take everyone back to Dragonstone, where it's a little bit more chill. We're going to let the tension die down, and, you know, maybe I'll come back on Dragonback and come see you and father. And it's like, all right, that sounds great. But we all know that's not going to happen, because Viserys, I think that he died. Not to mention that he also mistakes Alicent for Rhaenyra and ends up telling her the whole theory behind the Song of Ice and Fire and Aegon and what he saw in the north. And I think Alicent might have taken that the wrong way and thought that maybe it was like her son that he wants to see on the Iron Throne, and maybe like that was his like last and final word to her, and it's like he can't take that back if he's dead. But yeah, no, I thought this episode was really good. The emotions were there. I think in terms of filmmaking, episode 6 again was still pretty much better than this episode. So yeah, overall I really enjoyed House of the Dragon episode 8. It really set up a whole lot for the future to come, and honestly it really feels like I'm just waiting to be punched in the face at this point. I'm expecting something just tragic to happen, because we all know what leads up to the events of Game of Thrones, but I think that it's like seeing it all come together is what's really amazing and what's really captivating me throughout this whole show. It's been a really good experience, and these next 2 weeks are gonna be hard. It's gonna be weird getting through like these next 2 weeks without seeing King Viserys. And I mean, we hardly see Corlys, but I hope that Corlys kind of like picks up that mantle that Viserys had, and Corlys just kind of takes that and he just runs with it, because I want to see him be an active character, kind of like that of Daemon and now Aemond Targaryen. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you guys want to help out the channel, be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. The engagement really helps promote the video to others. And also, if you guys want to see more content from me, highly recommend subscribing. We are trying to reach a goal of 500 subscribers by the end of this year. It's going to be a hefty challenge. I think we can do it though. But with all that said, I will go ahead and see you guys next time.